Hello and welcome to Fine Arts Channel. As some of you may know, this Saturday was the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on the United States. Obviously, this was a very sad event, and it is something that should be remembered but not revered for a long time. In order to remember this event on the 20th anniversary, I have decided to create an abstract sculpture of the Twin Towers using steel rods and mud. Let's get started. Alright, so the project goes as follows. We're going to use these rods to represent the steel in the Twin Towers, and we're going to pour the mud into this square frame that I've made, and then implant the rods into the drying mud in the shape of the Twin Towers as they would have stood. I'm going to cut the rods down in this wedge fashion. I think it'll look really cool. If you can see, these are supposed to be the bases of the two towers, and they'll rest in the base like that. And we're going to put each of the wedges in their respective locations. And once it's done, it's going to have a really cool effect. Alright, so I finished cutting the steel strips that are going to make up the building. Now it's time to mix the mud, so we're going to set this aside for now and get started on the mud. This soil has been sifted finely, so now it's really fine grained, so we're not going to get any chunky rocks in it. I have just a little bit of grass to help hold it together, and of course water. I'm going to be using it sparingly. I'm going to mix the mud in this large dish here using a shovel and a putty knife. And once I get it to an even consistency, I'm going to scoop it onto here with the tile as a base and then let it set up. Okay, so I finished pouring the base, and now it's somewhat firm but still kind of jiggly. And right now is the time that we want to insert these. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put them in the wedge fashion described earlier. So there's one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, and that is that 10 years after 9/11, the One World Trade Center was constructed right behind the foundations of the Twin Towers. And the cool thing about this sculpture is that if you actually look through the two structures at the exact right point, you'll see the One World Trade Center rising up, just like that.